on the um well, usually it takes a little longer for it to go live, but we just went live. Maybe we're live. Yes, we're live. Yeah, that look on his face
Uh,
says yes, we're
yeah,
live.
it just said watching Amazon is live now.
Oh, you got a message?
I got a message.
All right, that means we're
I'll
live.
try
He
to
got the
share it.
message. He got the memo. Who are you?
The bold one, the cold one, John Colder Eyes Lawson. As always. Waste.
Yeah, I'm Brent Leary.
Yes.
All right, it is Saturday morning in the new era that we live in, the shelter in place era. Is that what we're calling it?
Stay home.
Stay home, shelter in place. I like shelter in place because, there's a nice little acronym, SIP. Shelter in place, SIP. We sipping.
Okay.
What was that old what was that old Boys the Men song? Something about simping. Simping ain't easy. Or, I don't know.
Okay. Seriously.
I'm sorry.
You're from another generation.
Yeah, it's funny how that works out, considering you are older than me. But
but I act like it.
All right, there he is, folks. The one and only, the bold one, the cold one, John Colder Eyes Lawson. Good morning, Allah Hassan. All right, that's cool. We got people saying good morning.
He's in Canada.
He's in Canada. You know him?
Yeah, that's my buddy, man. You remember him? He was at the ice retailer, and you really dug his presentation. Allah. Yes.
How long ago was that?
That was probably the first one.
Man, that was what,
you came to the first one. Yeah,
8 years ago or something?
Yeah, like that long ago.
And you expect me to remember anything that took place?
Yeah, that's true. We just already mentioned how old you are.
Yes, I'm old, and I got older.
But anyway, you guys have met before. Absolutely.
Well, I'm glad he's joining us. So good morning to you up north, and we are down south watching Amazon. And even though there's this terrible thing going on, the whole pandemic thing, and geez, every time you look, the numbers just keep exponentially growing. There's still things that are going on, and Amazon is like in the middle of a lot of this stuff. So we have to keep moving on, keep doing what we do, watching Amazon, because if you watch Amazon, you see a lot of dots connecting. So we better start connecting some dots, right?
Yeah.
You just see how smooth that was? That was kind of smooth, wasn't it? Kind of nice transition.
Yeah. Okay. We live.
Yeah, all right. So what do you got?
All right. So let's see, because my computer is super slow. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Amazon limits shipping for non-essential items. Every single one of its own products, however, remains in stock and ready to ship. So Amazon took the unusual step of delaying shipments for non-essential items last week, but we live in unusual times, and it seems as though Amazon stuff, for example, all of Amazon Fire TVs arrive in a couple of days, but most Roku boxes won't ship for weeks. Smart speakers like the Echo Dot and third gen Echo will be on your doorstep the day after tomorrow. Meanwhile, many of the other smart speakers on Amazon are all in delay mode. You can get your Ring done right away, but top competing options from like Arlo and Eufy are non-essential, so they won't be shipping. So we're seeing the platform possibly, favoring its own items and pushing down other competition.
I'll just pose a question.
Yeah.
On the surface, that sounds kind of sketchy. You look at it on the surface. But since Amazon's products can't be shipped in from a third-party seller because they're Amazon-made products, they're probably already in fulfillment centers all around, right? I mean, it's not like somebody has to ship in an Amazon-branded product before it can be sold and shipped out, right? I mean, they're sitting in a warehouse somewhere, right?
Well, here's the I know where you're going. You're saying, well, maybe that. So here's the deal. When we go to non-essential products, then everybody's will ship on time. So the deal is they're not. So they're making their own products non-essential, while other products they're labeling as essential, and as such are delaying delays and what delaying the delivery. So what that shows here is like for tablet computers, all tablet computers are they're non-essential. So along with the Amazon devices, those other devices are also being able to be delivered in a timely manner. It's just that Amazon is labeling its competitors' price products in those other categories as non-essential, and it's not doing that to their own product.
Yeah, I mean, on the surface, that sounds bad. I mean, let's face it. If a tablet is non-essential, if it comes from Apple, then how could a tablet be essential just because it comes from Amazon?
Right. So like who's ever heard of Amazon's Aeromesh Wi-Fi system? But everybody knows Netgear, TP-Link, and Linksys. Those are all pushed off for April delivery, but I can get this Aeromesh Wi-Fi thing from Amazon on time. I mean, that's just like that makes it very obvious when you put that kind of a brand versus the more well-known name brands. Why can I get this off-brand Amazon crap? I'm not gonna call it crap, but I mean it's an off-brand. Nobody.
Well, they bought it for like $1 billion last year. So
yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's off-brand. I've never heard of it. Everybody. You say Netgear.
Oh, of course, everybody knows Netgear. But that Eufy, I remember when they bought it. I was actually a pretty. Anyway, I see where you're getting. The only rationale I could think of for that is if, like I said, because these are all Amazon-owned products, they're sitting in fulfillment centers all around the country, so there's not as much logistics in moving them around to get to the home purchaser. Maybe they're already sitting, there's no need to bring them in and bring them into the fulfillment center and stock them and do all the stuff that goes on in there because it's already done. And maybe that is the rationale behind it. I don't know if that's the case or not, but that would be the only thing I could think.
I mean, here's the thing. I don't think that many people are ordering a lot of these products right now. You know what I mean?
You're right. So, I mean, I haven't ordered anything like that since.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, anyway, it's not like they ran out of the other ones. But anyway, that's one thing that came up on the radar for me.
Yeah, that's one that makes you wonder because like I said, if tablet is not essential from all the other vendors, but if it comes from one vendor, it is essential.
No, that's what I'm saying. The tablet is an essential device.
It is, or it isn't.
It is the tab. So all the other ones we were talking about, the Ring, the Wi-Fi, those things are non-essential. Okay. Tablets, they have labeled as an essential device. And as such, since it's essential, you can get all the tablets delivered on time. See what I'm saying?
Regardless of whether it's
an Amazon brand or not. So then why do we go over to non-essential and then all of a sudden see that Amazon still has their brand?
Okay. We're saying the same thing.
Delivery.
Yeah, we're saying the same thing.
Oh, okay, cool.
I should have used tablet, but like you said, Wi-Fi.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, all the other.
If one Wi-Fi kit is non-essential, and then another one is essential, and it just so happens to be an Amazon brand, that doesn't look good.
Whatever, man. Nobody's looking. Only us.
Yeah, we're only ones watching. Sure. Okay. All right, I got mine, and yeah, there like over the last several hours, there was like a lot of really interesting thought-provoking kind of stories that came out. And there were a number of people who work in Amazon fulfillment centers. I think I saw the number of is like 10 folks have been positive for COVID-19 that work in various Amazon facilities. And we kind of all know it's pretty easy for that thing to spread. I mean, all you have to do is look at the numbers, and it's just going crazy. So there was an article that we posted, early morning, late last night. I didn't expect to see an article like this, but here it is. So the title of the article is "To Stop the Spread of COVID-19, a Temporary Halt on Amazon Deliveries is Needed." I mean, I can't see how that could happen when you have so many people trying to order stuff so that they don't have to go out, and they are sheltering in place. And Amazon is one of the, if not the main way for folks to get stuff without having to go out. Is the net. This sounds really bad, but when there's a lot of group of people around anywhere right now, it doesn't matter if they're working in Amazon or anywhere, chances are that the virus is going to spread. All right. I mean, I don't see how there's a way around it. So of the hundreds of thousands of people working in Amazon fulfillment centers, all kind of grouped up, it's bound to happen. But does that offset the probably potentially millions of people ordering things that would have to go out and kind of potentially congregate and potentially have even more spread if they had to go out because they couldn't get home deliveries? That's something I think about. I think Amazon probably has to do more to keep these folks safe and healthy, but I can't imagine shutting down the probably biggest delivery network there is because 10 people got it, and it's terrible for that 10 people. But if it keeps millions of people from going out and congregating in stores, and
let's look at the numbers though.
I think that might not justify shutting down Amazon for that.
Okay, and I'm not saying shutting down Amazon, but let's look at the numbers. How many packages would you say a single person touches from Amazon in a daily 8-hour shift?
Whew, I don't know. I had my buddy Frank that worked a shift, and I talked to him a couple of months ago. All I'll say is this: in his facility, he said in a 24-hour period, they can process up to 1 million pieces of merchandise.
Okay,
in a 24-hour period.
And how many people did he know? How many people were in his facility
working? No. At one time, or just
in that 24-hour period?
I don't know. He said it was one of the biggest, if not the biggest.
So my point is, let's say on average that they want you to do one package per 2 minutes. So let's say that's 30 packages per hour. And that means 30 packages, not just 30 products. Okay. But let's say 30 orders per hour to 30 households times 8 versus those people going out once every 2 weeks to refill their grocery bins. I actually think it's better to shut the warehouse down numerically to reduce spread than it is for people to go out. Just by those numbers. And that's numbers in my head.
Yeah.
So that could be 600 packages, 10 people, 600 packages, right? Did we say? No, 30, 300 packages going to 300 homes with COVID-19 on the box. That could be a problem.
Well, it definitely could be a problem, but does that outweigh the potential of millions of people, even if it's, I think it'll be more than once a week or once every 2 weeks, actually.
You should be able to shop once for 2 weeks.
Nah, nobody. Have you been out here in Atlanta Metro? I mean, people aren't shopping once and staying home until
Yeah, that's the problem. They need to shop for 2 weeks. I don't know why they don't do that.
Well, they don't. First of all, they tell you they don't want you to shop for too long because
not too long.
Shortages come and people, you get all the panic stuff going on. They're trying to keep it,
like Alan's saying too, man. Local grocers are already taking more precautions. Like every night they're disinfecting the stores. That's why they're closing. And I just.
Well, I think
Amazon has to be more aware of their procedures, and they're going to have to take better care because it's, but Alan is saying there's not enough in the store to shop for 2 weeks. I haven't been out 3 weeks for shopping because I
go out every, I go out for lunch. I do a contactless pickup. So I don't have to touch or say anything to anybody. I just order my stuff and go and get it. And bag is already packaged up. Don't have to say or talk to anybody. But I'm just saying, I think the solution is not to shut them down, because that would cause even more of a public concern. I think the thing is, how do they do a better job of making it
the first thing, honestly, the first thing they probably should be doing is taking, if nothing, and I don't understand why our society is the way it is. I mean, I go to China and you can see when you go through a lot of places, they have these, health check screening from SARS, when they had SARS there, where they had these, places where you could take people's temperature. I mean, as much security as they've got going in and out of their warehouses, when you check in, you should be getting at least screened for your temperature. That's what they need to do, like yesterday.
Yeah, but then again, in China, all that kind of stuff is mandatory because you have no human rights, which here, that's the balance. I mean,
but I'm saying it wasn't because of human rights. They did it because they had SARS and they knew, which was a CV virus, that your temperature is the telling factor. So
they did it because they did it because the system of government over there compels you to do what they tell you to do. That's why they did it, because they know they could make people do it.
All I'm saying is Amazon has their own system of governance inside of their warehouses, and they tell people exactly what they can and can't do, even worse than people in China. So let's do at least that on.
Worse than people in China? Are you kidding me?
I've been to both.
You haven't apparently been to enough of China. Are you kidding?
I'm telling you,
those people, a lot of those people do not have the rights that.
You cannot even take a piss without them knowing exactly what part of the building you are in.
Well, guess what? You don't have to work there either. But in China, there's things you can't walk away from.
All I'm saying is it would be very simple for them to install. So all it would take is very simple. When you're going through the turnstile and checking in, check temperatures. That would make a lot of people feel better about the systems that are in place during this coronavirus era. That's all I'm saying. It's not draconian.
A lot of people feel better, but
it's not draconian. They're doing that at grocery stores some places now, in New York and in New Jersey.
That's okay, but when you start there, where's the line?
Okay. Anyway,
because right now the
line is common sense. That's where the line is. The line
is no human rights.
The line is common sense. It makes common sense to just make sure your workers are not sick before they touch the shit that's coming to my door.
I agree.
All right. That's where it stops.
But anybody that comes up with an idea and says, all right, let's do it without really thinking it out, without saying, where does this fit into the American human rights and civil rights, as opposed to just draconian methods of saying, you're going to do it and we don't care if you like it or not. That's,
You can,
that's,
but you just
a
said
line
you can
that
work somewhere
I don't
else.
think you want to cross.
You can work somewhere else.
That's great.
It's not.
That leaves it up to the person to say, okay, I don't like that. I'll see you later. But to try to force everybody to do it, I don't know if you want to go down that route either.
I'm saying that route just for the warehouses. You want to make sure people are not coming in sick.
Look, I'm okay with that as long as you say, or you can take a walk.
Okay. Well, yeah, you can take a walk.
Well, you know.
You know what? And I'm looking. I wonder right now, do they have masks on in the Amazon warehouse?
I don't know. I might have to ask my buddy Frank to come back and to talk about that, because I talked to him before COVID-19. You know,
Yes.
it wasn't very long before, but it was before. I'm sure there's some different things going on there right now. And
all right, we're not going to solve this.
We're not going to solve it. Let's also say this. You know, how many people does Amazon employ? Hundreds of thousands.
Yep.
10 cases of this virus, no matter how bad it is, that's a fraction of a fraction of a fraction.
Yeah, so it's not
a huge epidemic, but I think it's something, like you say, it has to be handled, and has to be handled now and correctly, because the confidence of the public is really demanding that they're able to get things delivered and not have to worry about getting a virus from the things. I'll just say this: did you see that video of this is disgusting, of this Amazon? You saw it. This Amazon delivery dude who spit and rubbed a loogie on a. You got to see the video. No. I should have posted it. It's a posted video. This delivery guy drops the package, and then for whatever stupid reason, he does one of these things and then puts it on the package. And the owner, when he saw the package, like, what the hell? And then of course he went to the ring. The camera, and it shows the dude does all this. Then he takes a picture of it.
Oh, he wants to be famous on the internet.
He's going to be famous on the internet, all right. Oh, famously in jail.
Oh my gosh!
I'll have to post that, because I don't want to
know. I was already freaked out by 10 people in a warehouse. Now this.
Yeah. See, now that to me is. As disturbing as the 10 people in the warehouse is, that one is even more disturbing. But anyway.
Oh my gosh.
That was, yeah. All right. So you got another one? Top that.
I'm so done. I'm done with you.
That was a bad one.
I didn't even pick out. I was just going to pick one out. Because I don't have anything to top what you.
Well, I got one more.
Okay, well, go for it.
It won't top it, but we just talked about a number of different not positive things going on. That's about as mild as I can put it. But here's an article. I once again posted last night. The worst Amazon shipping delays could still be ahead of us. And when you think about that, because and you actually kind of alluded to it the last conversation we had, or maybe it wasn't even a conversation we had on video, but remember we were going to do this a couple of days ago because you were getting a bad feeling, or you were saying that something seems to be off with Amazon. They don't seem to be able to handle what's going on. And so this article also kind of pointed out some of those things. The delivery times are slipping, particularly when it comes to like groceries. And I mentioned before, my buddy Paul Greenberg has been, kind of trying to figure out the best ways to times
He's
and
our
order.
grocery test case.
Yeah, and he was noticing, he would start, putting things in the cart and trying to get a delivery time, and couldn't get a delivery time before things start disappearing in his cart because they were running out. So the system is being stressed. Amazon's system is being stressed, and the cracks are starting to show.
Which is so weird to me.
What when you think about it, I don't think it's actually all that weird, because I'm thinking, has anybody ever seen a scale like this when it comes to online e-commerce?
Yeah, it's called Black Friday, Cyber Monday. I just don't see.
I don't know.
I don't know. Somebody needs to bring me these numbers.
I think this is more. I think this is, at least because this is panic. See, Black Friday and all that stuff, that ain't panic shopping. That's, shopping. And if you're happy, all right, you're spending a lot of money because you're happy. But when you're in panic and you want to make sure you get the stuff you need.
Okay, so here's the deal. Let's keep this on our brain for the quarterly numbers, because if their quarterly numbers should be skyrocket high.
They should be.
They should be.
I'm betting their costs are going to be skyrocket high too.
It'll be interesting. But anyway, go ahead.
All right. So all that to say is, we're still kind of early into this pandemic thing. And if they're having issues already, what's it going to be like in a month? This may be Amazon's biggest challenge ever, getting through this pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
Just like it might be the recent history of this country's biggest challenge, quite honestly. So I see this as mirrored. And if the most challenging times are ahead of us, what does that mean for not only us, but what does that mean for Amazon? If they're already, seeing the cracks show up now.
Well, I mean, that's why they're trying to hire 100,000 people.
Right. To
try to put a little, brick in the dam so that they don't have this happen to them. I don't know. For me, all around, both externally, internally, Amazon is so not acting like Amazon. It's just weird for me. I don't understand what's going on with Amazon right now. I don't understand why this is such a heavy load for them that they have to put everything else on pause while they deal with this. I don't get it. Yes, I understand the volume might be higher than they do crazy numbers on Prime Day. Crazy numbers. Are they telling me that there are, or are we having Prime Days back to back? I'm really just trying to figure out why they're having so much volume issue. I really am, especially when a lot of the stuff you need is out of stock. So it's just, I don't get it. I really don't get it. Why can't you deliver my shit when you're out of toilet paper? Why? I don't get it.
I think once we get past all of this, there is going to be a post-mortem. And I'm sure we're going to learn some things, and I'm sure Amazon is learning more. If anybody is learning, it's Amazon, because
that's true.
If they're able to, and I think they will eventually right the ship here. Because that culture is still one of those of fast learning and fast moving. And who could have foreseen the scale of this hit so quickly? It's just, to me, it's mind blowing. And I'm guessing that even company and people like Bezos and Amazon might have not foreseen the scale of something like this.
No, I mean, I don't think and I don't blame them for that. All I'm saying is just their response. Their response just seems to be like way over. It's not like Walmart saying, "Hey, we're not going to sell clothes right now in our stores because we need more shelf space for essentials." Feel me? That would be weird for a Walmart business model. That's why I'm saying, what they're doing here in Amazon just seems
well. And you mentioned hiring 100,000 people. I think saying it and having the cash to do it is one thing,
And the
but to
staff to do
actually,
it. Oh
yeah,
yeah,
but to actually process, get these people in, get them doing what needs to be done. That's something you don't do overnight. Where do you hire them? Where do you place them? What jobs do you have them doing? Because these folks are all new.
yeah,
That takes a lot. That takes more effort and time than just saying we can hire 100,000 people and having the cash to do it.
yeah. And all of them, all grocers now are saying they hiring. I mean, all the majors: Kroger's, Target, Walmart, Amazon. So I definitely do see that that is a big deal for them.
Well,
Evidently.
the other story. So, and we talked about the 100,000. There was another article that I posted just last night, and it talks about how Amazon is working with Lyft because a lot of Lyft. I mean, the Lyft utilization numbers falling off a cliff.
Yeah.
So Lyft is working with Amazon so to get their Lyft drivers driving for Amazon. So I think we're going to see a lot of. Remember, we talked about the team of enemies and where do we see these competitors start working together. So here's kind of an example of that, where Lyft is saying, "My God, our business is going to hell. At least we can help our drivers find work and work with Amazon to do that." So I think Amazon is looking for, they're looking for solutions to the challenges they face. And I think eventually they're going to get there. They're going to get over this. And I think because of kind of, I don't know, just seeing how they've operated over the years, the cracks are showing, which shows that they're a human company. I mean, they're a company like anybody else that has challenges, and sometimes those challenges are unforeseen and bigger than they thought. But I think they're the kind of company that responds to that and gets better after, once they kind of figure it out.
Yeah, they're going to figure it out.
So that leads me to my last question.
What's your last question?
Let's say that all that we just said is true. And I'll throw in another quick article on Bezos talking to the World Health Organization about delivering COVID-19 test kits, which is kind of interesting because the World Health Organization is the same organization that the current resident of 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue turned down when they offered all these test kits. So kind of keep that in mind. So Bezos is talking to that organization about delivering kits, test kits all around. Wouldn't that kind of fly in the face of the current president? And what if, just specking this out, what if Amazon makes an agreement and says, yeah, we're going to send kits all over the place. We're working with the World Health Organization to do that, and we can do it. And then the current resident of 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue says, no, I am going to use my power to make sure that you give us all those kits.
Wait, the kits come from where?
Who knows? Don't
the kits come from World Health, and he doesn't want those anyway?
Yeah, he doesn't. He didn't want them. I bet he'd like them now if he could have made that deal. So. If he could have made that deal again, over again, knowing what's going. If he wouldn't want to make a redo now after knowing what he knows, man, we are really in trouble. I'm just saying.
Dude,
that is real trouble. But I'm just saying, okay. I say all that to say is, if Amazon is seen overcoming their problems with the things that we just laid out and start really getting it, nailing it, helping all of us get the stuff we need without fear of getting the virus, and if they are helping the World Health Organization distribute kits all over, and Amazon comes out really looking good, like looking as they were a big part of the solving the puzzle. I'm just saying, let's say that's the case. Now, after we get through the crisis, and Amazon is seen as playing a significant role in helping us get over it. They come out of it bigger and better than ever. Does it then, because of all they did, and now they're bigger and better than ever, are they safe from being broken up? Or because they may come out of it with more power, even though that power was used for the good, after the fact, does it make even them more a bigger target because they flexed the power and they were able to do these big things? Does it make them a bigger target to be broken up because they showed that they have power and they were able to accomplish things that maybe nobody else has?
I just from the way you laid it out, just to me, I don't see that being a factor. I mean, I think that there is, I've always felt there was a good case for breaking them up. This could probably be neutral at best for them. So it's either going to be more of a reason or neutral for a reason. I don't see that being a positive for keeping them together.
If they come out of it with looking even stronger and having more impact and having
but
more.
I'm saying the stronger, the more impact means break them up.
That's what I'm saying. So even though what they did, if this happens the way I laid it out, if they did help make this thing, us survive this thing, and they were a big reason why.
We're not throwing them a bone, no.
And because they gained even more power and an influence because of that.
Yeah.
You don't think that they become a bigger target?
I mean, they're already a bigger target. It's almost like, it's all, you know what? It's like putting water in a bowl. It's after a while, it just overflows on the side and it just doesn't make it. It's already the case is pretty much made to me.
Yeah, but now it's like somehow.
And look, hey, if you don't make friends in Washington, that makes it even worse. Yes.
we got a significant number of comments on here.
Oh, I'm sure we do.
We just kind of lost it because we kind of got into it. But our buddy Alan Berkson, well, you saw Alan is leaving comments in like multiple places. Which, we like,
Yeah, so go ahead, Alan. What is he saying?
Alan says, as a third party, it doesn't seem like you have many alternatives, as some not in e-commerce. What else is there? So that kind of piggybacks off of our earlier discussion.
It could be, you know what? And this could be a resurgence for eBay. Who knows? eBay should probably position themselves a little bit better right now. They should reach out to the third-party sellers, because of what's going on in the third-party world is atrocious as far as I'm concerned. And I haven't spoken to that at all on here, but Amazon is dropping the ball majorly on the third-party scale. So who knows? But I think if you're a third-party person on Amazon and you have the capability of doing self-fulfilled, you want to flip some of the stuff that you can do self-fulfilled to self-fulfilled, and definitely look at listing on on eBay at this time, just to help supplement that income. It used to be very little. You might see a 10, 15% bump, but today, 10 for 15% bump is doubling your Amazon sales.
Wow.
So it's that bad.
Let's face it. I think once we get past this, e-commerce is going to have learned a lot in general. I'm not just talking about Amazon. I'm just saying the e-commerce industry is going to learn a lot.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be things put in place to make sure some of the shortfalls that have happened during this epidemic don't happen again. And in the end, e-commerce, the percentage of sales that e-commerce makes up is going to go up. It's going to go up significantly because people are now who may have never shopped online, which is kind of hard for me to believe, but even still, it's only about 12% of all retail is e-commerce, as you tell
It
me.
could go either way, man.
I think it's going to go.
Well, here's the thing. The problem is that Amazon is the leader in e-commerce. So 50% of all e-commerce is Amazon.
Right.
And all of a sudden, Amazon is not living up to the standards of good e-commerce. So
I'm going to say it's more that they're not just that they're not living up. I think it's the whole system is being stressed to the limits. And it's not just e-commerce, it's everything. So I think e-commerce is the most visible thing, but it's not. If you look at everything is being stressed at this point.
Yeah, I'm sure the United States Postal Services, whatever, blah. I don't know. I just, if I signed up for 2-day shipping, there's only so long that I'm going to keep sticking with you now, and just think they had accelerated to 1-day shipping and same day. I mean, all of that has been shot to hell.
Yeah, but what if they hadn't done all those things? What would the delivery time be if they hadn't?
I mean, I was watching TV. I'm watching some old show, right? And they had the old commercials in there, and I'm watching it. And it says, "Please allow 4 to 6 weeks for delivery." I'm like, that used to be us. That sounds so stupid now.
That sounds crazy. All right, but I'm just saying. Let's say in Amazon, they always. We were saying earlier we're going to take a look at the revenues for this quarter.
Yeah,
and we'll see just how much they made. But I'm just saying. Let me get this out. And I'll let you go.
I'm sorry.
So let's say that they made a crazy amount of revenue. Amazon, we all know Amazon pours that money back into infrastructure, and you got to believe that they're going to do this. May be their biggest infrastructure investment of all time coming out of this thing, and they're going to do it in such a way that this probably will never happen again to them. And that's why I'm saying I think on the other end of this, e-commerce in general is going to benefit because Amazon is going to prop it up. And companies like eBay and others, they can ride the wave, or they can even try to do a little bit more because of the wave.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I just don't see Amazon as being the only play coming out of this. I think Amazon has possibly eroded some of the confidence that small businesses that make up 55% of their inventory are, I don't see people just playing the Amazon game only going forward. I think they have learned a lesson, and a hard lesson we're learning right now, of being one platform dependent. And that could be a problem going forward for Amazon, making them now not only having to compete with the other marketplaces, but I think there are a lot of smaller guys that are setting up their own marketplaces, doing their own stores, because they're not getting the support from Amazon that we would expect. Because I don't know if you know, every time you look at something and it says it's delayed until April 21st, that means anybody that purchased it doesn't get it till April 21st, but also anybody that sold it other than Amazon is not getting their money until it ships on April 21st. And that's, you're holding people's money for 3 weeks.
Yeah. No, there are other things too, like, and we kind of talked about the whole, comparing what's going on with China, but, Amazon, to a certain extent, they acted like their own China with respect to saying to the third-party sellers, we're only going to be selling non-essential, so don't ship the stuff in. And then
don't take my temperature.
Well, that's the employees. I'm talking about the third-party sellers here. And then, like you said on an earlier show, all right, you cut us out from shipping our stuff in to sell. but then you want to still make us pay loans, pay our loans back to you that we took. And at least they did correct that, right?
Yeah, they stopped that day before yesterday.
But I think it's just a huge learning experience for all. But Amazon is in the spotlight all the time. So they are learning with billions of eyeballs all over them.
This is a cascading issue for Amazon. And we haven't even talked about the big thing we always talked about was how much money they were bringing in from advertising. And I'm sure that has been hurt massively. It was only 5% of their new money.
It was growing
rapidly. It was growing rapidly. It was a very
profitable revenue. It wasn't, like the margins on retail is a pittance compared to the margins that they were making on digital ads and on AWS.
Right.
Which AWS is still, I think, that's a workhorse for them even today, because there's just so many digital businesses out there. So the revenue is going to go up. It's going to go up on the retail side. It's going to come down on the digital ad side, I would say, or at least it's plateaued for the time being. AWS is still kicking it. And who knows, they might end up actually getting a piece of that Jedi contract once all is said and done. So I think that they're going to have money, and when Jeff Bezos has money, he reinvests it back into customer experiences and infrastructure and fulfillment and distribution.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Actually, because they're going to have to make some amends to customers, I'm sure, at some point saying, sorry, you couldn't get your stuff on time, blah, blah, blah. And that's going to cost them a little bit revenue share. It'll be interesting how they come out. You know what? I think more important than how they're in it or went into it is going to be how they come out.
That's exactly my point. I think as they go through this and they're stress tested and the cracks are showing and getting bigger, they are applying their learning and their ability to turn learning into actual actions and processes and infrastructure changes. And we always say, they are the biggest AI company there is. They've got data on everything. They know where the issues are coming up. They know what the issues are. They know who's involved. They have all the information. And I just see them as a kind of company that will take that in and figure out the best way forward.
Yep.
We'll see. Because I don't think they've ever been tested like this before. So.
Yep. Absolutely.
But guess what? We'll be watching.
We're watching.
See, and you weren't even feeling up to it, and you came through. You were like, blasting away at me and everything as usual.
Yeah, I was. They don't know, but before the show, I was like, Brent, I'm just not going to have much commentary.
Yeah, and that was an hour later.
That's funny. You know what? Here's one thing I want to say before we get out of here. Now that we've been in the house for 2.5 weeks, I think America should start thinking like Europeans and let's shut down the country for a month every year for vacation. Why not? Let's do this from now on.
I think we definitely need to shut down Mardi Gras when there's a pandemic going on. But
seriously. Oh, man.
But that's for another story.
That's another story.
That's for another show that you do. And on that note, we're done for the time being, but we'll be popping up from time to time.
All right, guys. Peace.